Good day everyone, welcome to my another pre-recorded presentation. This is Abertine A. Carnitas, a third year B.Ed student, and today I will discuss about the teacher leadership, the role of teachers as leaders within the classroom and beyond. Without further ado, let's start. When we hear the word leader, we often think of principals or administrators. However, teachers are also leaders. Teacher leadership happens when teachers guide, influence, and support students, colleagues, and the school community while still teaching in the classroom. As future elementary teachers, understanding teacher leadership is important because leadership starts inside the classroom and grows beyond it. Now, let's define what is teacher leadership. So when we say teacher leadership, it is when the teacher influences others. The teacher influences their fellow teachers, school leaders, students, and the community to improve teaching and learning while still teaching in the classroom. So one of the example of teacher leadership is when a classroom teacher helps improve school reading program by sharing effective strategies with colleagues even without being a school administrator. So there are two fundamental types of teacher leadership roles. The first one is formal teacher leaders and the second one is informal teacher leaders. Now, what is formal teacher leaders? These are official leadership roles assigned by the school with clear responsibilities. For example, a department chair leads subject area meetings and help teachers align lessons with curriculum standards. Second is informal teacher leaders. It means these teachers are not officially appointed but naturally lead by initiative, expertise, and influence. For example, a teacher voluntarily starts a peer tutoring program after noticing students struggling, and other teachers supports the idea. Now let's move on to leadership within the classroom. So teacher leadership manifests inside the classroom through innovative instructional practices and student-centered management. So here are the roles of teacher leadership within the classroom. First is modeling and mentoring. So teachers must demonstrate positive behavior, professionalism, and they should value their students because there is a possibility that their students may imitate their behavior or the personality. For example, a teacher consistently shows respect during discussion, teaching students how to communicate politely even when they disagree. Second is technology integration. So, teacher leaders use digital tools to improve teaching, assessment, and student engagement to make the discussion more engaging. So, for example, using Google Classroom and online quizzes to give instant feedback and track student progress. So, there are a lot of teachers use digital tools in today's generation. Next is empowering students agency. So teachers allow students to take responsibility for their learning and decisions. For example, students help create classroom rules and choose topics for their project-based activity. Like the students are the ones to decide what kind of project they want based on their interest. Last is inquiry-based learning. So teachers encourage students to ask questions, investigate problems, and think critically instead or just memorizing facts or lecturing. So for example, instead of lecturing, a teacher asks students to research why climate change affects the Philippines and present solutions, or either the teacher will be asking those students to improve the students' critical thinking skills. Leadership beyond the classroom. So teacher leaders extend their influence to shape school culture, policy, and professional growth. So first is instructional specialists and data coaches. So teacher leaders guide colleagues in improving teaching strategies using student data. So for example, a teacher analyzes test results and helps other teachers adjust lesson to address the learning gaps of the learners. Then second is mentoring and coaching. So experienced teachers must support new teachers professionally and emotionally. So for example, a senior teacher helps a new teacher with classroom management strategies during their first year. Third is curriculum development. So the teacher leaders help design and improve lesson plans and learning materials. One example of this is when the teacher revised the curriculum to include more real-life applications and local examples. Professional learning communities or PLCs. So teachers collaborate regularly to share best practices and solve teaching challenges. So for example is a weekly meeting where teachers discuss student progress and share successful teaching strategies. And last is community policy advocacy. So teacher leaders connect schools with parents and represent teacher concerns in decision making. One of the example of this is when a teacher organizes parent workshops and speaks in school board meetings about student needs. Now let's move on to the essential skills for teacher leaders. First is collaborative mindset, so working with others respectfully rather than acting as a boss. Example, a teacher invites colleagues to share things or ideas instead of imposing their own methods. Second is emotional intelligence, understanding and managing emotions, both one's own and others. For example, a teacher listens empathetically to a stressed colleague and offers support. Third is adaptability and resilience. So, adjusting to changes and staying strong during challenges. For example, a teacher quickly adapts lesson to online learning during a school disruptions. And last is data literacy. So using student performance data to improve instructions. So for example, a teacher identifies low scores in math and reteaches difficult concepts using new strategies. So those are the essential skills that the teacher leaders must have. In conclusion, teacher leadership strengthens schools by improving teaching quality, supporting colleagues, and enhancing student learning through collaboration and informed decision making. By this, the school improves overall student performance because teacher leaders work together to mentor peers, revise the curriculum, and use data effectively.